This is the Acer Predator XB271HU and XB271HK, two IPS monitors both equipped with NVIDIA G-Sync technology. But are they any good? And what's better? 1440p at 165Hz or 4K at 60? Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video in the other side of the studio that you don't normally see. In this video I wanted to talk about two monitors, not just one, because they are so similar yet so different. Both of them are Acer's new Predator monitors, 27 inches, and both have a gaming orientated design with features. And the main difference between the two is one is 4K, so UHD 3840 by 2160 at 60Hz, and then the other one is 1440p at 144Hz or overclockable to 165. So in theory these are two of the greatest gaming monitors on the market today, as they are both IPS and offer the balance between image quality and gaming performance. But are they any good, and should you get them? To kick us off, let's start with the design of these monitors, and as you can tell, both are identical. They both feature the same overall design with the same stand. As you can tell, I have removed the default stand and opted for a dual monitor stand, as this supports two 27-inch monitors, and as they are the same design, we have a nice overall effect. But most people won't do this. Most people will use the default stand in the box, and it's very easy to put together. There's not really anything out of the ordinary here. It's just one screw at the bottom, and then this simply clicks with a quick release into the back of the monitor. And then this reveals that the overall design it's kind of gamer centric, but at the same time it really doesn't scream this in your face. And I think it's really nice. The stand is a little bit aggressive, features a red color scheme, but the actual top bit of the monitor opts for a more neutral grey with the Predator logo in the middle. And overall it strikes a very nice balance between a gamer-centric monitor and something that you could quite easily have in someone's office. Because if you are someone that wants to do a lot of image work but you also want to play some games, then this is exactly the sort of thing you should be looking at, as it will cater to both markets. The stand has all the adjustments you need, including height adjust, pivot, and you can swivel it as well. So you've got everything that you need to do and you can cover it well. Viewing angles, of course, are very good because this is an IPS monitor, but the panel that is used, I believe, is an AHVA panel, which is what allows it to go up to that 165Hz refresh rate, and it delivers great color accuracy and, as we will get onto later, decent gaming performance. Move to the back of the monitor and the gamer-centric design continues, but again it doesn't really scream this too much in your face, and you find that you have all the ports you need. You're going to want to use the DisplayPort 1.2 if you want to get the G-Sync. Elsewhere on the monitor you'll find we have two USB 3.0 ports on the left hand side, and then looking at the monitor again from the front reveals that this goes for a more bezel-less design, which is brilliant to see, and this is actually better than the ROG Swift main competitor that we have to each of those monitors. I would say that the bezels are slimmer, and the overall effect that they've gone for really does make it look like it doesn't have any bezels. So that is a major thumbs up for that. Unfortunately though, there is a slight lip at the bottom of the monitor, so if we have two of these monitors side by side, they don't quite sit flush next to each other, and you do get this slight gap, and that's just because the bottom right hand corner or bottom left hand corner of the monitor respectively does overhang the bezel-less design. But overall this isn't really a big deal, and I've enjoyed having two of these side by side on my desk. But it's not just the design of these monitors that is the same. Look to the menu system and for all intents and purposes they are identical. There are a few settings here and there that are slightly different on each monitor, but for all intents and purposes, yeah, they are the same. The main difference being that on the 1440p variant you have an overclockable refresh rate, so you can change the default 144Hz to 165Hz. Still not entirely sure why they don't do this out of the box. Not sure if this voids your warranty, but I highly doubt that it does. But realistically, the difference between 144 and 165Hz isn't going to make too much of a big deal anyway. But the menu system itself is pretty good. It's very well laid out, it's nice and clear, and it's controlled with the buttons on the front of the monitor. It's still a shame that if you don't know what button does what, it's still fairly easy to hit the wrong button and accidentally come out of the wrong setting, but it's a lot better menu than most, and while it still can't compete with the likes of Philips menus and LG's menus that use the little sort of four-way selector in the middle of the monitor, it's still very, very good, and it's very well laid out, and visually it looks very good too. So that's it for the design of the monitors, but what about performance and what about image quality? At the end of the day, these are both very expensive monitors and you should have high expectations, but does it deliver? Well, in a few words, absolutely yes. Both these monitors feature IPS panels, and these both deliver rich, vibrant colours, great contrast and deep blacks. Yes, because it's IPS you might get a bit of IPS glow, and this is going to depend entirely on the exact model that you get delivered to your home, but for me IPS glow has never really been too much of a big deal, as I always use my monitors in well lit environments. But if you are someone that wants to be doing just some productivity or even just general use, because these both use rich IPS panels that deliver great colour accuracy, it means that you can look at pictures, do image editing works, create videos, whatever you want to do, without having to worry about having one of these horrible TN panels that just simply aren't great for productivity at all. And overall, the balance between productivity, performance, gaming is really, really nice. And I, as a video editor, have to say that it's really nice to be able to accurately view the colours that come straight out of the camera files on these monitors. So that's it for productivity, but what about its gaming performance? This is a gaming monitor, so at the end of the day, it really does come down to whether this thing is good at gaming. And what's better, 1440p at a high refresh rate or 4K at 60? Well, the short answer is both of these monitors deliver an excellent gaming performance as long as you've got the sufficient amount of horsepower to drive these. Both of these things look great on the desktop, productivity, but gaming is both where these things really do shine. I did a lot of testing on the 1440p variant, as this is definitely going to be the one that I would say is more popular, as it's going to suit more people, just because you can get this running at a higher refresh rate and thus have smoother games for things like first-person shooters and the latter. And I've been playing a lot of Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and this monitor delivers one of the best experiences I have ever had. Mainly because the colours are so vibrant, the contrast is excellent, but ultimately the combination of that high refresh rate and that G-Sync module deliver a really nice smooth experience. And this extends to pretty much all the games you want to put on here. Unlike the 4K variant that will be a lot more difficult to drive and won't suit as many games, it doesn't matter what you want to throw on this thing, it delivers really nice, rich, vibrant colours and smooth frame rates, and ultimately a great gaming experience. But if 4K is more your bag and you're more of a numbers guy, or you want something that's a little bit sharper, the good news doesn't stop, because the 4K variant delivers an equally good gaming experience in a more selected amount of titles. Examples really would be Civilization 5 and The Witcher 3, both of which run at 4K on a GTX 1080 with a fair amount of ease. It couldn't still unfortunately run The Witcher at max settings, but both of these games I would either use a controller for The Witcher, or in the case of Civilization, I don't need a refresh rate over 60, and thus the overall experience I would say was better than if it was running on a 1440p model at a high refresh rate. But the combination of the two definitely gives you a nice balance side by side, as you can gain all the advantages of depending on the game that you want to play, and you can play it on the most appropriate monitor. But if you do have an endless supply of cash and you do want to do this and run two of these side by side, then of course you could look at a third option, which would be the Acer X34 or Asus's PG34 something Q, something like that anyway, and get an ultra wide experience. And I'm still not entirely made up my mind which would be the better option, but one thing is for sure, if you do want two monitors side by side, these are definitely two of the best, and both are highly recommended. The main flaws are with the actual packaging of the monitors, and this isn't going to affect most people, because what basically happened is with press review samples, so both of these are review samples and these get ferried around to different review outlets. Sadly, the 1440p model has a fair amount of damage just from where it's been sent round the pack, I guess, too many times, and this just had the cardboard interior was a little bit damaged, but mainly the foam inside, because it's not a soft foam and because there isn't too much of it. It basically just got damaged, and over time, unfortunately, it has been bashed around a bit. But this shouldn't bother you too much, because if your monitor arrives damaged, you can just get a new one. But if you are someone that maybe takes monitors from location to location, this is definitely something to mention. But overall, what do I think of these two monitors? Well, I'm very, very impressed. Windows still doesn't have the best scaling with 4K, so you still are going to get some issues there. Performance is going to depend entirely on the graphics card you have, and if you do want to pair this with something like a £150 graphics card, you're definitely not going to get the same amount of results and eye candy that you would if you're running this at a higher refresh rate. But both these monitors are very, very good. The overall design is excellent and a lot better than the old 1440p original 144Hz Acer. That was just a little bit meh. Only other real thing to report, it just comes down to the uniformity of each monitors, and this is going to depend, of course, model for model, and if you do get a dodgy one, you should be able to send it back. But assuming you do get a model that you're very happy with, I genuinely think you are going to be using one of the best monitors on the market today. So the 4K variant gets the top purchase award. If you want a 4K monitor, I think that this is actually probably the best on the market. The Acer Predator 144Hz or 165Hz 1440p model, it's not quite as good as the ROG Swift, just because the build quality is slightly better and the packaging is slightly better with the ROG Swift, but it's cheaper. It's around about £50–100 cheaper than the ROG Swift 29Q. Which is why, for me, this is the best monitor at this size that isn't an ultra-wide, in my personal opinion. It strikes all the boxes. It's decent value, it provides G-Sync, it provides 1440p, 165Hz, IPS. Not really any more I would want unless I was looking at an ultra-wide, which is why this wins the editor's choice. Still haven't decided about upgrading my personal monitors, whether I should go for an ultra-wide or whether I should go for two 16:9s, but one thing I can assure you, unless something better comes out in the meantime, I will be going for one of these. And so, there we have it. A massive thank you to you guys for checking out this video. I hope it's been helpful. A massive thank you to Acer for shipping both of these monitors out. And a massive thank you to Corsair, as always, for sponsoring the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. There's a whole host of monitor reviews. You can find that in the little eye somewhere around there that will deliver you with all the latest monitor reviews, including both the AQ and the 29Q of the Asus ROG Swift monitors, so please go and check them out. And yeah, for more videos, please subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Hit me up on PC Centric Twitter, that's at PC Centric, Instagram, all the social media, and I'll see you in the next video.